Hey guys, and welcome back to ZRZ. In this video I'm going to be doing a comparison between the PlayStation 4 Slim and the Xbox One S. So obviously the Xbox One S was released a few weeks back, so this is the improved and smaller version of the standard Xbox One, and then catching up a few weeks after PlayStation have released their PS4 Slim, which is obviously the smaller and slimmer version of the PlayStation 4. So in this video we're just going to be comparing it, since these are the new revisions of each of the consoles. So starting off with the design and exterior of each of the consoles, as you can see the Xbox One S is still sort of the sharp cornered rectangular shaped console, and then the PS4 Slim still keeps most of the same design features, such as like the parallelogram shape, and it's sort of like a square when you look at it top down, but it does have rounded corners now, so it doesn't have the sharp corners like the original PS4 did. So that's what's new here. And then if we're looking at the side of the console, we can see how much thinner the PS4 Slim is now. It's really super thin. So the Xbox One S does have a couple centimeters on top of the PS4 in terms of its height and thickness, but other than that they're both quite small consoles, and they're not going to take much room in on your TV setup and things like that. But let's take a look around the consoles itself. Obviously at the front of the PS4 Slim we have the disk drive and two USB ports at the front, and at the back we have all of the ports for the PS4 Slim. The only thing we have is a power input, the auxiliary accessory port, HDMI out, and a Ethernet port right there, and then obviously a cover to change your hard drive out. So that's pretty much all we have on the PS4. But taking a look at the Xbox One S, it does have a few more options in terms of ports. So if we look at the front, it's quite plain. It's just the disk drive and then the USB port at the front there, but then when we flip over to the back we see a lot more. Obviously the power input, HDMI out and HDMI in, two extra USB ports at the back, so this means that the Xbox One S still has one more USB port than the PS4, and then there's an IR out port, optical, which the PS4 Slim no longer has. So the optical port is gone from the PS4 Slim. Xbox One S still does have it, which is great, and then obviously an Ethernet port there as well. And other than that, they both have options for vertical stands. The Xbox One S has a vertical stand included in the box, which is a real nice feature. The PS4 Slim doesn't, but it does have an option for a vertical stand with a slight, like a thread that goes in at the bottom of the console. So that's pretty much it of the designs of the consoles. The Xbox One S is a lot more funky, I would say. It has a bit more of a unique design with all of these circles everywhere, and obviously it's white as standard, so that's very different to what we've seen before. Whereas the PS4 Slim, it still keeps that really subtle black standard color with the black plastic. It does look a little bit cheaper when you have a close look at it. You can tell that they've cut corners to reduce the cost, but not too much. I do quite like it. It looks quite sleek when it's in your setup under your TV, and it just sort of fits in there quite nicely. But obviously it doesn't pop out as like, whoa, this is a games console, whereas the Xbox One S does have more of that effect. So looking at the internal specifications of each console, the PS4 Slim is pretty much still the same in terms of its performance. There's no real improvements there, except the fact that it does now support up to 5 GHz Wi-Fi, whereas before it only supported up to 2.4 GHz, so I guess you can say that's an improvement, but other than that it's pretty much the same as before. The Xbox One S, on the other hand, does actually have some hardware improvements on the processor, so that it can support things like 4K video and 4K upscaling, and also running games at a more steady frames per second. So now the Xbox One and the PS4 are at a similar level in terms of performance. Now looking at the controllers of both of the consoles, they both do have some slight changes. The PS4 Slim's controller has now been improved with an extra light on the touchpad to show the color on the light bar, and also some changes to the colors of the buttons. They're slightly more grey, and they also have a matte finish around the buttons, but other than that, pretty much still the same exact controller. The Xbox One S controller also has some slight changes. There isn't that glossy part at the top anymore around the Xbox home button, so that's just sort of covered up now with a matte white finish. And obviously the controller itself is in white now as default, just like the console. And also this controller does come with the 3.5mm headphone jack as standard as well. So So in terms of considering these consoles as upgrades, I would say that the PS4 Slim isn't really an upgrade. It's more of just another version of the same console that's cheaper to manufacture and therefore cheaper for people to buy. And this is great for people that haven't got a PS4 yet. But other than that, it's not an upgrade. And for people that already own a PS4, it's not worth going out to buy the PS4 Slim as an upgrade because it's still the same console. But the Xbox One S, on the other hand, is an upgrade. So if you had a standard Xbox One console, you could sort of justify buying the Xbox One S for the upgraded hardware for HDR gaming and things like that. And also it is cheaper for people to buy now if they didn't have an Xbox One. So when they go out and buy one, obviously this is the one that you would go for because this is the newer and improved one, and it's smaller and it's quite low in price as well. Now if you're struggling to decide between which console to buy, whether you want to get the PS4 Slim or the Xbox One S because you don't have any of the consoles at the moment, this is quite a difficult situation. It's a difficult choice to make, especially because now they're quite at a similar level in terms of performance, price and things that they offer online. It comes down to personal preference. I mean, if you prefer the exclusives on the PS4, you would probably go for PS4. If you prefer the exclusive games on Xbox, you would go for that. Or if you prefer the Xbox Live experience and your friends have Xboxes more, then you would go for that. So it really depends on your situation and your personal preference. But that is my verdict on the PS4 Slim and the Xbox One S. Hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely stay tuned for more videos of the PS4 Slim and the Xbox One S. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.